Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another Transformers Masterpiece review. I am Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, and this video review is brought to you by titanonetoys. I don't know if he has these available for sale, but I would call him up and ask if this is something that you're interested in. Today we are going to be reviewing the Masterpiece Cheetor, or as he's called in Japan, Cheetus, because, you know, we were going to get a Rhinox, but then they decided to cheat us. I'm sorry. Anyhow, so here he is. And, he looks pretty nice. I'll be honest with you. I watched Beast Wars back in the day, and I didn't really like it because at the time that it was airing, I was totally kind of a G1er. And I was like, truck not monkey, essentially. The idea of Transformers turning into animals instead of, robotic mechanical things was just silly to me. But, I've kind of gotten over it a bit since then. But now when I go back and try to watch the show, I'm like, oh my God, people watch this? There's parts of it that I don't feel like they aged very well. So, yeah. But the detailing is really, really nice. You can see he's got his in Transformers, it's kind of a ubiquitous thing where the car hood just kind of turns into the chest, and this one it's the head of his animal mode. It is really nice. You can see if I can zoom it in, you can see all the little gradient marks. Because of course, when you're printing things off, it's really hard to do like true gradients. They have to print them because the print is like either all on or all off, so they make it a series of tiny little dots around the edges. And that's how you get shading and fading effects. He does come with his guts gun here and his tail gun here. Neither one of these really want to be held very well. I don't know what the deal is. I've messed with it quite a lot lately and trying to get it to hold on, and they just don't want to. I don't know what the deal is. I know that this one is because the tail kind of folds around the back behind the handle, and that automatically makes it want to set it at an angle. I know he's got a little bit of movement in his wrist like that. But this one's got a tab, like a Masterpiece style tab, and it should like fit right into that slot in his hand. But it doesn't want to. I don't know why. But let's put his accessories aside. Well, let's put his weapons aside. He does come with other accessories. We'll get to that in just a moment. But looking in on the figure, he's really well done. Let's move the lighting a little bit so we can get close up and have it be fully lit. His head sculpt's pretty good. Really, really vibrant, like gold, maybe kind of coppery looking paint here. He does have, this is not technically supposed to be here, but I think we can forgive it. That's supposed to be there, if I recall. Maybe not these ones, but he turns into a cheetah. I'm sure we can forgive him of some minor cheetah parts here and there. He does have a face on his crotch, teeth and nose and eyes. Because, you can have a face on your face and a face on your chest and a face on your crotch. Where's his face on his feet? What the hell? I don't get it. They should have faces everywhere. It should be like Gurren Lagann, just like faces. But, yeah. He's a pretty nice figure, I think. Certainly a good figure for anybody who's really into Beast Wars, which I know there's a lot of you, and I'm not going to bash anything about Beast Wars. It's a real, I understand it to be extremely good for the time, but when I first watched it, I don't know, I just didn't really appreciate it. And then afterwards I'm like, it didn't age really well. But I do know a lot of the story writing that goes into it. I know a lot about the characterization, and I think that there's a lot of good stuff in it. I don't know, get hung up on silly things, I guess. But let's go into posability. He does have good range of articulation on his neck. He's got there's a hinge for his neck to look up all the way in the back, so he can look like hella up. Not really look down, not even a little bit, but you know, he is the shortest one. Well, no, I guess Rat Trap is shorter than him. But what I'm saying is that he doesn't look down on anybody much. So the design of this shoulder joint is really interesting because it's got like this mushroom peg here, and then it has a hinge here, and then you've got, in addition to this moving out, you've got a motion here. Whoa, pulling it all apart. Spoiler alert, it transforms. And see, when it transforms, this joint does come apart. Like this folds down like that. And as a result, when it's not transforming, it wants to do that too. And it's kind of frustrating. That is one of the things that's a little iffy about this kit. But, you know, aside from this part right here blocking his motion, he's got, you know, I mean, he's got a good range of motion. You don't really need it to go to, like, you know, windmill around. But it goes out on 2 different joints. He does have an upper bicep swivel. He does have a double jointed elbow, so that it'll fold up just all the way, just as much as you want, and then some. His let's get this. Whoa, I dropped him. Let's get this out of the way just a bit, just for this mode here. He does have a wrist swivel here. Actually, his wrist straight up comes off if you swivel it. And then he's got a little bit of in or out. His 4 fingers are all one piece. They'll move together. Now, granted, and you saw I had to get the arm thing out of the way. Because of this kibble on the arm, it kind of, not necessarily restricts a lot of it. Like, yeah, all of the like outward motion of the wrist is all blocked by that. Some of the rotation is going to be blocked by that. But by and large, this just, it makes it so that that posability doesn't really serve any useful function. Like, the posability is definitely there. It just is not always the most useful posability. But whatevs. What can you do? He's got a waist swivel. His legs will go all the way forwards that much. If you, they kind of fight with his beast legs, so he'll go back about that much. His knee will bend back about 90 degrees forward. Oh, almost 90 degrees. Break his knee right there. He's got some toe articulation. It's a real strong, like, not super strong, but it's a strong ratchet joint. So it kind of really only applies for the transformation. He does have a toe joint if you want him to tow things, and he does have a tilt on his foot, but just on the front toe of it. And that's about it. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that he will do like 150% of a Van Damme. So shoot, son. You can definitely like go into battle crotch first, just like kamikaze. Anyhow, in terms of other accessories, of course, he's got these guns. Also, you can yank off his face. You can actually yank it off real easy. And he comes with 2 other faces. So this is just kind of like standard, hello, I'm a Cheetor kind of a guy. Zoom in on that. Come on, focus, grasshopper. Yeah, and you can see his freckles have even been painted in. And then he's got this other face, which is kind of a little bit of an open mouth expression, kind of a face. And this one here, which is kind of a smiling face, I guess. I don't know, his face is not terribly anthropomorphic in a lot of ways, and it's kind of hard to tell what exactly the emotions are. So I guess maybe he's got a neutral face, surprised face, and a smiling face. We'll go with that. Also, it is useful to point out, you'll notice his entire, like basically inside of his head is a clear plastic. He does have backlighting. Like, I don't know. I don't think that it works very well, but there's a lot of light piping that I'm not sure works really well. Forgot to mention, he's got a knee swivel. Yeah. But anyhow, let's get him transformed up into his beast mode. Yeah. So first thing we're going to do, of course, we already took off all of his accessories. I'm going to start with the legs. We are going to point his toes down, open up these panels right here. That's going to allow us to push this up. We're going to put that up and then fold the toe down flat. So fold that up, fold the toe down. This is going to fold up underneath it, the heel. And we're going to push the knee through and extend out that. And we're just going to push that as far as it'll go. Again, with the other side, pull out his beast foot, push the knee down. And then you may notice that there's a little bit of a divot sculpted into here. We're going to bend his knee at this lower joint here, just that far, and then push it all the way up. And again with this other side, we're going to bend it just that far and push it all the way up. Let's unpeg these. These do peg together with just this peg here. Hold there. Get that out of the way. Now this crotch section here will detach, rotate around, and then reattach into the same spot. And then, last but not least, we're going to take these and we're going to go like that. And that is his beast mode legs, more or less. All right, now for this, we're going to take and we're going to extend up his whole torso. Like so. We're going to push from the back. You can push the beast mode chin up here. And this is all on a series of, there's a panel here and there's a panel here. We're going to extend this up, out past these little tabs here so that we can rotate this around. Then we're going to put his head up on that joint. And then you're going to see here, these little spikes on his head are going to go through these holes right here. Like that. Ta-da! We are actually almost there. Then we're going to take his arm, fold it all the way up. Before I get too far on that, we're going to detach this joint here, which just kind of shifts this down just a bit. And again with the other side, detach that joint, kind of shifts the whole little arm down. And then we're going to rotate on this joint here and right here on this upper bicep swivel. And that's just going to kind of slide around and then go in. So slide around, go in. These wrist segments here are going to attach together. And then we're going to get this whole oh, whoops, I forgot a step. I'm dumb. This part here is going to extend out. I'm sitting here, I'm like, that doesn't seem like it gives enough clearance. Yeah, I've only like transformed this like 5 or 6 times in the past like 2 days, so all right. We'll tab together. With those parts moved up, we have enough clearance in there for his neck to get around that. These tabs are going to tenuously go into those slots here behind his cheetah neck. And that's the start. He does have these gaps here on the side, but you're going to move that up and kind of cover them, kind of-ish. This part here, if you pull on that, that will slide this up. And then you can move this all up to kind of hide his beast head. This will tuck underneath these arm panels. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the tail gun here. And the tail gun, we're going to fold out these panels right here on the sides. And then we're going to untab these and put them up. Before we put them finally into place, we're going to unpeg this from here, extend out. That's his tail, obviously. We're going to take this piece here, the handle of the gun, we're going to fold that up. We're going to push this down, rotate it 180 degrees, and then put it back up so that the barrel of this little gun pokes into this depression right there. Then we're going to make sure that these are in their final positions, like so. And now this slot right here is going to clamp onto the stock of his gun. And then there's this hole right here right above the screw hole. And that's where this peg is going to go. We're just going to take that, clip that in. There's also a slot here that this tab may or may not want to go into, depending on life. And that will cover that up fairly well. I do believe that by and large, there should be no gap here. So kind of position the body such it doesn't really want to stay like that, but position the body to kind of mitigate that gap a bit. Then last but not least is his intestines. So we're going to take his guts gun. We're going to open it. Yeah, like that. Push the barrel in, close that again, fold up the handle, and then this is going to go, this peg right here is going to go into that slot, and this is going to tuck under there. So put it in like that, and then push that in, and then that's the guts, tummy of his cheetah mode. And then last but not least, we're going to kind of, there's a joint inside here. And we're going to pull that out. We're going to pull that out. And then when you're putting the head back on it, because you don't want to just push it straight back in, it's best if you kind of push it up or down. Up is where I've found it to like better. And then push it to a side. Any side will do. And then put the cheetah head back on. And now when you put that on, it won't, because the joint is moved along those axes, it won't, the pressure won't transfer straight in. Otherwise, you'll find yourself just pushing it back in, and then it won't help you out. That's specifically so that it gives you some motion on the head. And there he is in his cheetah mode, and he looks like a cheetah, kind of. Not real super impressed by his cheetah mode. I mean, yes, arbitrarily, automatically, objectively, this is the best cheetah mode that Cheetor has ever gotten. Because it's better than the original one, and it's better than the Classics one, or Generations, or whatever. The one that nobody ever really... Gosh, I don't even see that thing like it. Like, it came out, and then it kind of dropped off the face of the planet. So I can't help but feel that people don't really have a high regard for that. Otherwise, it would be around more. But, so there he is. And let's kind of... This part wants to move at that joint there. So you kind of got to hold it, maneuver around, trying to get it to keep that joint covered there. And we'll try and get him into some half respectable pose. Cheetor. And he's not bad. I won't say that he's awesome. I don't feel that he's as great as the Masterpiece Optimus Primal was. That was a pretty good figure, actually. In fact, Matthew from titanonetoys has got that one too. I could probably borrow that and review it if anybody here wants. If you don't want, then no worries. This joint doesn't really want to stay together. I don't know if I'm missing something in there, but I don't I don't feel like I'm missing something in there. I could be wrong. Somebody who has owned this toy longer than the amount of time that I'm borrowing it for and may know more than me, feel free to comment. Tell me where I screwed it up. But you know, just from what I know here, I don't think that I've missed anything. Like there's no like internal tab in there that keeps that in. And this joint here doesn't seem to want to make that work, and this doesn't want to push up more to kind of cover that. So I don't know what's up. Maybe they just figure if you've got him standing on his feet, that the weight, gravity will help push that together like that. And it works out. It is a really good, it is, I don't really want to just arbitrarily be like, yeah, it's a really good cheetah mode, because in a lot of ways, this looks nothing like an actual cheetah. But in a lot of ways, this looks more like a cheetah than anything else we've gotten from the Beast Wars franchise. So I'm gonna give it the old thumbs up. He does, because of the way his transformation works, he does end up, since this is kind of trying to be on the outside of the leg mode in his robot mode, then this side ends up being on the outside in his animal mode, and so he's got like visible screws and stuff like that. But you know, the way it's designed, like you've either got to have screw holes in the robot mode or screw holes on the beast mode, and they probably figure that because he makes a better robot than beast, he's probably going to spend the most of his time in robot mode. So that's a good decision, I think, ultimately. Let's go to transformation or posability, I guess. His head, as I pointed out, if you pull out that peg, has got a fair degree of rotation from left to right and a fair degree of tilt from up and down. It'll even turn a little bit because that's a round peg. His mouth will open up. So yeah, he can be like, hey guys, what's up? His arms will go like so and out all that much. There's a swivel right here above the elbow. It's a leg, but he's got an elbow. Speaking of which, decent amount of bend at that. It really is kind of intended to be at this angle, so when you straighten it out, he's just got this unsightly lump there. And when you bend it, he's got a little bit of a lump down there. So, but you know, you kind of got to make your considerations where you can. Paw posability will go up and down that far and rotate. No built-in posability along his torso, but if you want to count that as posability, man, let's go for it. On the hips, this is the same hip joint as his robot mode, the same knee joint as his robot mode. This is new. This will bend a little bit like that, and then again with this paw, you've got no tilt on that, but you get a little bit of up and down motion on his paw. So it will allow you to, you know, go out and you can fit all of his paws so that they're, you know, all touching down on the ground more or less. And he looks pretty good. Oh yeah, he's got a couple joints in his tail. And you know, I can say that I think that he's all right. I'm not the hugest fan of Beast Wars, so I don't know that I would add one to my collection. But you know, I think that it's certainly better than anything we've gotten before, which is part of how Masterpiece is supposed to work, and it's pretty decent all in all. Now he does come with a series of accessories um, for his beast mode as well. He's got, this is his regular face, and this one, his mouth can close all the way. So if you wanted to have a closed mouth, this is the face you have to use. He has this kind of like snarly face, or maybe more of a I just smelled a stinky fart face. Gosh, that may even be more of like a told a lewd joke, innuendo kind of a face, like but yeah, there's that face. And then there's this face, which is the holy crap, I just smelled a sneaky fart kind of a face. Or maybe I don't know. This does kind of seem like more of a holy shit kind of a face. You'll notice that this one's looking slightly to the one side, and this one's looking slightly to the other side. The eyes, if you stick your finger in here and pull that out, the eyes are all interchangeable. So if you want them to just be sitting here but looking to one side, you can just pull that out, replace it with this, and now he's looking over there, because why not? Maybe he's just bored and just looking at something. And these will all fit on just the same way. Again, I do recommend that you move this joint and then move that joint before you put it on. Then he'll be like, did somebody just fart? I don't know. But yeah, so there's Masterpiece Cheetor. This is currently only a Takara thing. They haven't imported it into the States under the Hasbro license yet. At this rate, at this point, I want to say, if it hasn't happened by now, because we didn't get Optimus Primal, we didn't get Cheetor. There's a Dinobot coming back, but at this point, I feel that if it comes out in the States, it's going to be like $1 million, and nobody's going to want to get that. So I don't suspect that's coming to the States. You know, I don't know that we're actually going to get these in the US like at all ever. So if you want to get one, you're going to have to go with the Takara version, and you're going to have to find somebody online who's selling them. And why not go with titanonetoys? Give him a call, see if he's carrying them, or if he will carry them, or whatnot. I don't know. But anyhow, so this is Masterpiece Cheetor, and this is Zachamus Prime telling you guys to everybody be awesome and be good to each other. See you later.